Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and this is Scraplift Crafternoon, where we find a layout that inspires us and we scraplift it. And this is by Jessica, and Jessica's YouTube is The Paper Heart. And she has created this really cool pumpkin by paper piecing. And I'm going a little rogue, as you can tell, because I am scrapbooking Christmas. And so I'm not going to be making a pumpkin. So I'm definitely going rogue between not doing a pumpkin, not doing Halloween or the fall. I've got these two Echo Park collections plus this Echo Park sticker sheet. And I've got some scraps and everything that are also from these two collections. I brought in this Rustic Wilderness because she's got a little bit of splattery going on. So I have my, I'm going to use those scraps to cut out the shapes to do the paper piecing. And instead of one picture like she has, I actually have three. So super rogue, you all, which is not normal. I don't always go very rogue, usually a little. But, you know, so I have my papers, I have my embellishments and sticker sheets, I have my pictures and this really cool layout. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I wanted to get some papers cut down that I can use for my squares. She uses squares and triangles, and my original plan was to do squares and triangles, but I will say I do end up just doing squares, and I'm okay with that. I'm still doing the paper piecing, still using different patterns and creating a shape with them. So a lot of what she did, I am still keeping kind of in that same family. And I'm also using some of these papers to cut out mats for my pictures. So I picked this red paper and it's got scenery in the background, some trees, Santa Claus, some different things, because it's red on red, and so it's not in your face. And so I thought having that little extra something would be fun, because I wasn't sure what exactly I was going to be doing. Now, obviously, my plan right here is that I'm going to cut those side pieces down to triangles to make them give you that, that shape. But as I'm looking at it, I'm debating, and geometry was not my strong suit. And Jessica was very smart and has a really cool grid that she creates things on, and determines how many squares and how big and all that kind of stuff. Very smart. Right now, I'm just trying to keep the pieces to where they're not touching each other if they're the same pattern. So I get all of this kind of maneuvered around and decide that this is the general idea of what I want to do. And her pumpkin is matted on black, and so I decided I would do that as well. And so I get this down, and I have to rearrange and maneuver multiple times. I cut a lot of that out because you didn't need to see me do that. So I start at the top when I really should have started at the bottom, and worked my way up, but that's okay. So I get some of this down, and then I'm going to cut away so you don't have to watch me create all of these little things and tape them all. And so then I get them all down, and then I start maneuvering again from the bottom up. So I got them all down, top down, but then I moved my way back up to get them a little bit more even. So I started to cut this with these scissors, but I have these precision scissors with the cutter bees, and so I'm gonna trim the top part, and then I go find a scrap of this orange, Kristen, really brown paper, and put that square. It's also a 2x2, which is how big the squares are that I've cut. I cut that into a 2x2 for my trunk so that it goes along with the whole theme of the squares. So then I'm going to cut around here so that the entire tree is outlined in black, which helps it really pop off the page. I chose the predominantly green papers or white background papers so that they'd stand out on the red, because I wasn't sure if I was going to mat it on black like she had her pumpkin, but I decided that it would be more cohesive and more reined in if I did. And I do love the way that this looks. So here are my 3 pictures. One of them is horizontal. The other 2 are vertical. I felt like I could just build them together, kind of like the tree. And so I have those matted and I've set them underneath that tree just in case splatters went anywhere. I didn't mind if they were on the tree, but I didn't want them in the picture. So I'm just splattering this rustic wilderness around, and I intentionally put some on the tree. Not very much, can't even really see too much of it. I mean, there's a couple specks here and there. And then whenever I have left on my little piece of acetate here, which is like just from a sticker sheet that I've used up, I just take that and I smush it in places that I feel are going to possibly be more open. Up towards the top of the tree, down at the bottom where the bottom of the tree is going to be kind of open, just to give a little extra texture, a little extra color and pop from that red. And so now I am distressing all 3 of these pictures because I love the look of a distressed edges, and I didn't want to do that with the tree, but I did. Although that would have really been cool had I distressed all the little squares, because then it would have been kind of that rugged look all around. But that's okay. Maybe next time. So I start with this one that has that same green plaid background because the 2 green plaid bases or squares on the tree are over there further. So it kind of brings that plaid all the way over. And then this other one is that greenery, not the big poinsettias, but the little flowers. And then the top one I flipped upside down, or flipped, and it's presents. Not that you can tell because there's not much of a border, especially after I did the distressing. But I'm going to get that down. I do use some Nouveau Deluxe to keep those in place because the corners were coming up from where they're kind of up a little. So I moved that to the side. I love the way this is looking. I'm really happy with it. And I'm just going to embellish with some of the stickers. So I pull this little banner off, and from here, the majority of what I do does not really fit with what she has. Most of her stuff, except for the stem of her pumpkin, is on the pumpkin, including her title. And I originally, and I'm not sure if you'll see me do it, but I originally put the title, or what could be considered the title, on the tree partially, and then I pull it off because I don't like it. It disappears into all that pattern. So I put the little cardinal at the top. If you've watched some of my Christmas layouts that I've done in the past couple of weeks, there's a lot of old wives' tales, or, things like that that say that if you see a red cardinal, it is someone from your past that's gone on before you coming to visit. So I put that there because these pictures are the first Christmas after my dad died. And so here's where I was going to put the word Noel, and it just disappears in that busy paper. So I decided to put it down here, kind of like a little step, and there's not enough letters, and I knew that going in, or there's not enough little steps to put the whole word, so I put the N on the other side. I considered putting it at the top, but A, it wouldn't fit, and B, I thought that would look kind of weird. So I put it over here, and it's kind of disappearing in the page, especially the N, because it is red with some little florals or snowflakes or something on it. But I'm going to work on that in just a little bit. I'm looking to see if I can find anything else that I am happy with putting down on here. So I add some presents down at the bottom, and then I decide I'm going to outline the letters, the NOEL, with this black pin so that it helps it stand out a little bit. And I feel like that really does the trick. Like, it helps it pop off the page and defines it more so that you can see it. And I feel like it all stands out a little bit more. So, and then I trace around the presents, the little sign that says joy, and that's all. I don't go around the cardinal, or there's like a little leafy bit underneath the 2 pictures that are at the bottom. I don't put anything under there either. I really just wanted to draw more attention to the, you know, the gifts and things like that. I mean, not more than the pictures, obviously, because that's the whole point. So I did want to put a star on here. There were no stars in all three of these collections. So I pull out these Recollections ones that I just got at Michael's a couple weeks ago. And I put this one shiny gold one up at the top because it kind of reflects the star that we have on our tree. And then I get a few of these Park Lane gold stars and just make 3 clusters on 3 different little parts of the tree. And then I'm going to get out my ruler, and with the black, it's a zig memory marker or memory pin, I'm going to draw, I think 6 lines for journaling. She has journaling stripes all the way down the left side of the page. And because I have so many pictures, didn't want to do that, but also I didn't have a lot of journaling I wanted to do. I pretty much just wrote on here that we always love to get together and decorate at my mom and dad's. Not as easy when my dad was gone, but we're a strong family and we stick together. He'd be proud. So I wrote it in gold, and it's kind of hard to see, especially in this video, but it is legible and easy to read in person, but it's not in your face like if I had written in black or white. And I really didn't want it to, because it's a little personal, and I didn't want it to detract from the joy in the pictures. So there was the layout one more time that Jessica did. Please go check out her YouTube. It will be linked below this video and all the other really cool videos that she has. And also all of the fabulous creatives who are hopping along with the Scraplift Crafternoon. I'm pretty sure that Tara, Christine, Isabel, maybe Kimberly, and Angela. I don't think Anna's with us this week, but they'll all be on the playlist below. So hope you'll come back and see us real soon. Have a great day and happy scrapping.